Right, we're here today to answer some questions we had on just the operation and use of the 2-dial timer here. We just want to resolve any confusion that there might be with that. So this is your timer set up. You probably have already set up the time. This is the current time. So right now it's 10:50 a.m. And then you would set your start time by just holding that button. In this case, we're going to put it at 4 a.m. So these dials, how you use those, the first one is the duration, and that will dictate how long you want the cycle to run for. So you can go anywhere from 2 minutes all the way up to 120 minutes, so that's 2 hours. So, and then you could have just on, which is a permanent on function. So if you wanted to run it manually, you would just flip it to on. So then the next one you have is the start interval, and that tells you how often those intervals are going to start. And you can go as short as every 2 hours up to every 7th day, which is once a week. Or you can just do the once, which will run the cycle one time and then not run it again until you again adjust the timer. So let me give you an example of that. Let's say that I had that I wanted to run this timer every day. So I would switch that to daily. And I wanted it to run for 15 minutes every day. So I would set that to 15. So since we've already passed 4 a.m., it's 10:52, this would start tomorrow at 4 a.m., next time it hits 4 a.m. And it would run every day for 15 minutes at 4 a.m. Now let's say that I wanted it to run for 5 minutes, but I wanted it to actually run a couple times a day. So I could switch that to every 12 hours. So that would run at 4 a.m. and at 4 p.m. for 5 minutes each. So one way that you might use this interval thing is if you had, for example, new lawn that was put in. If you're seeding new lawn, you know that you need to water that multiple times per day. Sometimes every 4 hours, every 2 hours. So you might set that to run every 4 hours for 10 minutes. And that gives a new seeded lawn enough water so that it doesn't get scorched in the sun. Another example was, let's say you have watering restrictions and you've put in drip irrigation and you can only run it every 3rd day. So once every 3 days. So in that case, you would set this to every 3rd day, but since it's drip, you probably want it to run a little bit longer, let's say 90 minutes in that case. And so this would run, next time it would run was the next 4 a.m., which would be tomorrow at 4 a.m., and then it would skip 2 days, and then it would run again. So, this gives you a lot of flexibility altogether, and then it also gives you, of course, that manual option with just the on or the run once. So hopefully that answers any questions on how to set up the timer. If you do have any more questions, hit us up in the comments, and we're happy to address those. Thanks.